We want to check back in with reporter Michelle Choi.
Yeah, she's live at U of H about a lawsuit against a frat on that campus. Michelle, what do we know about this?
Guys, a former Pi Kappa Alpha pledge is suing the frat along with more than 24 individuals in connection with an alleged hazing incident that took place back in 2016. Now, we pulled a 32-page lawsuit, and while the details are disturbing, Jared Munoz says he was physically hurt while pledging with the fraternity. Munoz claims the abuse took place over 3 days. He says he was deprived of food, water, and sleep, made to roll around even in human waste, and he injured his spleen, and he says he ended up in the hospital for 5 days. Now, the incident is also the subject of a criminal case which heads back to court next week. Last year, U of H suspended the Houston chapter for 5 years following their own investigation. Now, Munoz is seeking $1 million in damages. We've also reached out to the fraternity for comment, but have yet to hear back. Guys, back to you.
Michelle Choi, thank you.